You and your family drink water every day. But do you know what's really filling your glass? The average home's tap water can contain contaminants such as microorganisms, chemicals, and pollutants. Boiling water may not be able to eliminate all of these contaminants. Do you want your family drinking that? If not, the EcoSphere water purifier is your solution. The EcoSphere water purifier's technology meticulously and systematically purifies water, making your water definitively clean and safe to drink. Our unique purification staging method maximizes the power of the purifier. Here's how. The purification starts with polypropylene pleated prefiltration. This accordion-shaped filter preps the water by removing large particulates such as dust, sand, and sediment. The second stage of purification forces water through a dense carbon block. This process is especially effective at removing organic contaminants, chemicals, chlorine, lead, and particulates. During stage 3, water passes through a special polyether sulfone membrane. This dense membrane is filled with microscopic pores ranging from 10 nanometers to 100 nanometers that trap a wide range of particles while letting water still flow unobstructed. The final stage of the EcoSphere's purification process uses a cold cathode lamp UV light. Our state-of-the-art UV lamp has the ability to eliminate a wide variety of viruses, bacteria, and cysts, ensuring that your family's drinking water is clean and safe. Tap into the power of the EcoSphere water purifier. Drink healthy with clean, safe water.
Hello, New Skin Southeast Asia. Welcome to tonight's Late Night Live. I'm Kathy Schultz here. I'm actually in Provo, Utah. It's 8 a.m. for me, but it is 10 p.m. there. So this is Late Night Live. Welcome our replay viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to take you over here so you can meet our celebrity scientist that all of you in Southeast Asia know so well. Join me over here with Dr. Mark Bartlett. What are you doing here so early in the morning?
Oh, I'm enjoying my morning glass of ultra-pure fresh water.
I cannot wait to learn more about this device. What is this device?
Well, this is our ultra-pure EcoSphere water purification system. So it's Nu Skin's first foray into the water purification world, and it's actually debuted and launched first in Southeast Asia. It's absolutely a wonderful opportunity.
That is awesome. Now, for all of our viewers out there, I also need to let you know we are going to have a pop quiz today. So make sure that you're watching this all the way to the very end so that you can be entered to win. I'm going to tell you all the details about the pop quiz later, but you're going to want a paper and a pen, and we'll tell you all the details. Okay, now, let's get into this. Why do we need a water purifier? Can't I just drink water directly from the tap?
Well, you'd be surprised. Typically a water catchment area is huge, right? So the water comes from all over the place into our water supply, and all sorts of contaminants can creep in from countless sources, like pesticides and herbicides and nitrates from agricultural lands. We can get some harmful toxic chemicals from manufacturing plants and things that creep in, and other contaminated water that can transmit diseases like diarrhea and other nasty things.
Oh. Well, okay, so that sounds gross when it's just tap water, but this tap water goes through some sort of facility that cleans it out and takes all that out, right? So it's good by the time it just gets to my house tap.
Yeah, most cities have water treatment plants, right? But think about how far that is from your house. And so what's the pipe made of that takes that to your house? It has to come quite a long way, and there's corrosion in the pipe, so you can get lead or copper that creeps in. You can even get algae. And the water treatment plants do their best to remove any of these things, and they use things like chlorine, adding it to the water. But that kills the bacteria and the viruses. But when you think about it, it doesn't actually do anything to some of the other things, the sediments or the pharmaceuticals that might be in the water, the heavy metals, the pesticides. Those don't change, right?
Yeah, okay, so I've heard you can get it out of the tap water and boil it. So I can boil my water. Now, this takes a little bit of time, but I can get it all out if I just boil the water.
Yeah, it's my understanding in Southeast Asia that a lot of people do boil the water before they drink it. But think about that. It kills the microbes, the bacteria, the viruses, but again, that doesn't change the other harmful chemicals, the herbicides, the pharmaceuticals, the metals like lead or copper. So those contaminants aren't affected by boiling. And in fact, when you boil the water, because the steam comes off it, you're actually concentrating the water, right? So you're actually concentrating some of those things that you don't want to drink.
And I never would have thought of that. This is really good information on these myths that I've just kind of known my whole life. You know, I'll come home from a run on a hot day and I'm thirsty and I don't even think about it. I just fill up my water and chug it down and drink as much as I need. Yeah, I just haven't even really ever paused and thought about what's in the water that I'm drinking.
That's right, and it's good to start thinking about it. And what we really need then is an effective purification method that's going to remove all of those things that you don't want in your water. And as a bonus, when you have a really good purification system, it improves the smell and the taste of the water as well.
That is awesome.
That's where this beautiful EcoSphere water purification system comes in.
All right, so we're going to get into a little more details about this. But first, let's talk about the pop quiz that we're going to be doing. So, Southeast Asia viewers, I want you to pay close attention to everything we're sharing, and hopefully you've already been paying close attention because we're about to have our first one. What you're going to do is we're going to ask you 3 questions. You need your paper, you need your pen. You're going to write down the answers to all 3 questions in order, and then you're going to submit them after the Facebook Live ends. You're going to send a private message to this page, Nu Skin Southeast Asia Facebook, and enter the Pop Quiz Contest. First 3 winners that answer all of these questions are going to win a Nu Skin product. I don't know what the Nu Skin product is. You guys will find out soon, I'm sure. So, are you guys ready? Let's get, now, I guess the question is, how hard are you going to make these questions? But hopefully you guys are all really paying attention. So, Mark, first question, what's it going to be?
Okay, name 7. No, I was just kidding. Name 1 of the water contaminants that I mentioned just now.
All right, perfect. So there's our first pop quiz. There's 2 more. Keep watching to the end. All right, so EcoSphere device. How long did you and your team in R&D spend developing this device?
Yeah, well, excellent product development doesn't happen overnight. It actually took us 2 years of homework. So we went to all of the trade shows, but we looked at all of the scientific research, and we tried to understand all of the science of water filtration, water purification. And we found out, oh man, there's a lot to think about, right? So it took 2 years of homework, and then it was 3 years of actually applying all of this to put this device together. So 5 years in total.
That is a lot of time. So that's why there's so much for us to learn about this device here today, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So what kind of technology is used in the EcoSphere?
Well, we pretty much designed it from the inside out, right? So the first thing was that we needed to look at the science. We really wanted the science of this technology to be good. So looking at all of the different things that we had to do for a countertop, we created an I4 ultra purification technology that utilizes very different materials to to complete a range of problems.
I4 ultra purification. All right. What does that mean?
All right. Well, the I stands for intelligent, and the 4 stands for 4-stage filtration, right? So that's I4, intelligent 4-stage ultrafiltration technology. It comes with 4 filters that serve one function, right? So typically, when someone wants to tackle all the different things that you need to in water, you need like lots of different kinds of filters, and they typically have them all separated, right? Well, the first thing that we did was we put them all into one to make it very simple. So the first stage is the polypropylene pleated pre-filter. And we kind of named that as a joke because we want you to be able to say it 10 times fast, right? PPP, the polypropylene pleated pre-filter. Right, the second stage is a compressed activated carbon block, and I'll talk about that later because it's amazing, right? The third stage is the polyether sulfone membrane, and then there's a final stage which is the cold cathode ultraviolet lamp. And that's why this filtration is intelligent, because it's all in one.
And you have to be intelligent just to talk about everything that's in here because, oh my goodness. So let's break it down a little bit for those of us who don't know all of this science. What does the first stage of pre-filter, the 3 P's that you said, what does that do for us?
Okay, that first is a pleated pre-filter, and its job is to filter out the biggest and the most obvious contaminants that may be in your water, right? So it looks like an accordion, right? And it's arranged like that to trap these large particles like dust and sand and sediment, and it has a huge surface area so it can handle a lot of these materials without ever getting blocked, right? And this also helps in the next 3 stages of the purification process.
All right, so the second stage you said is pretty cool, that you're going to talk about the carbon block.
Right. So carbon isn't just carbon. Actually, activated carbon is where they sort of blow steam through the carbon and make a whole bunch of, trillions and trillions of little parts. And the compressed block is also very special. So under a huge amount of pressure and heat, it makes this block so that water has to go through the carbon. It can't find channels anywhere else to go. And it's really, really good for maximizing the filter's ability to remove especially the organic contaminants, the things that make the water smell as well, right? So it's able to remove all of those things. Chemicals like chlorine and lead and other particulates are all sorted out at the compressed activated carbon block filter.
All right, so I already feel like my water's super clean by these first 2 stages, and we're not even done. So the PES membrane. What is the 3rd stage?
Well, I want to show you this because this is really special. This is a technology that's reserved really for the best of the best water purification. So this is a polyether sulfone membrane. It's filled with these microscopic pores, around 10 nanometers. That's really super tiny. So these microscopic pores, and if you look here, you can see just the end of it, but it's kind of like noodles inside, right? So these are trapping any minuscule particle that might have found their way past the first 2 stages of the filter. So we're really, really making sure that nothing gets into your water here. And we still have just one more stage to talk about.
All right, so the last stage you said is UV.
Right.
How does UV help in water purification?
Right. Ultraviolet, it's really actually one of the lights from the sun, right? And it's very good at sterilizing and killing viruses and bacteria. Right, so this is the perfect final stage in our ultra purification process, right? And so we also use a very superior ultraviolet lamp technology. It's called a cold cathode tube. And this is much better, far superior to many other tubes that are used, like the tungsten tubes, because basically it lives the life of the unit. You don't have to replace it periodically. It just lasts for a long time. So with this technology, you can simply drink the EcoSphere filtered water without the need to boil the water after you get it out of the tap.
That is so great. Okay, I love knowing that we're going to be drinking all this clean water. And I also love watching how many comments you guys in Southeast Asia are making. They're pretty educated on this. They're making me feel like I have not done my research. But I know there's a reason we're launching this in Southeast Asia first. And I love seeing how smart everyone is on here, like as they're talking about.
They know water in Southeast Asia.
It's awesome. All right, so how about a second pop quiz now? All right, what should our second question be, Mark?
Okay, how many stages of purification are in our EcoSphere water purifier? How many stages?
Remember, write that down and you're going to send it to us, okay? So, we have one question left. Keep watching to the very end because we're not quite done yet. Now, how did you make sure that EcoSphere was going to be easy to use and superior to design compared to all the rest of the water filters on the market out there?
Right, yeah, this is something that we really thought a lot about. So it's one thing to have a purification system that is, complicated. It does the job, but it's complicated and it's difficult to use. And we really, talked to a lot of people and realized this was very important, the ease of use. One first thing that we focused on was safety, right? Often when you look at these units, they've got at least 2 tubes and at least 1 power line. So they're dangling and they're getting tangled up. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't leave too much up to the consumer, right? Make it really simple, make it easy so you don't make mistakes. When you've got water and electricity combined together, it can be a dangerous combination. So I'd like to draw your attention really to this 3-in-1 cable. So we have a water inlet and a water outlet and the power tube in this 3-in-1 cable, and so that there's nothing dangling. It's completely clean and clear and safe, and that's really one of the highlights there.
I like it, and it's very beautiful. And I love that you've made it easy to use. As a mom of 4, I don't like thinking about if my kids are getting things or doing things and just everything that could happen when it's sitting on the kitchen counter. So right. I love thinking about that and how to do it. Now, I see that there's lights on here on the diverter. How does that work?
Right, this is something that I love, right? So usually when you have these water purification on the countertop, they've got these knobs that you have to turn. They're really quite heavy, and that puts a lot of strain on the faucet and also kind of makes it difficult because over time, when sort of water starts working on it, it becomes either really difficult to turn or gets really loose, right? So we searched long and hard and we only found one unit like this. It's so sleek, it's so beautiful. You turn on the tap and then with the press of a button, you can barely try it. Try that, it's so easy.
Faucet,
right?
purified. It's so easy and it's very clear what it is. So
right.
Your young kids are going to be getting pure water as well because they can easily hit the button and know that they're drinking water with it. I love
Isn't
that.
Great. So this is a beautiful clear unit. And there's a, how do you know when to replace the filter? The light turns orange. So you can, after a year or when the light turns orange, you can replace the filter.
So speaking of replacing filters, that's something that always keeps me from doing stuff. I'll buy it, I'll use it once, and then I can't really keep up with the maintenance of a unit.
Right.
What did you guys do to combat that piece of user experience?
That's really common, because you look at that unit and say, it was so hard to install the darn thing, and now that it's installed, I don't want to touch it because it's going to start leaking, there's going to be a problem, it's really difficult. And so what you end up having is a filter that really needs to be replaced and it's not doing its job. So that's part of the user experience that we thought about. So really, as I said before, it's 3 of the stages in one unit here. So all you need to do is take the top off the unit, put this in, and a quarter turn, and it locks in, and it's ready to go. So that's how you install it, and that's how you maintain it when it's time to replace. Super easy.
And it's so small.
Yeah.
This is not big and bulky. This is so great.
Right.
One cartridge.
No
it's
tools.
going to tell me with the light.
No technicians.
No tools. I can do it all by myself.
Absolutely.
As soon as I need it. I just have to remember a quarter turn
Right.
to get it started. I love it. All right. And it's beautiful. This would look so great in my kitchen at home. It's not all over my wall, and it's a beautiful device. I absolutely love it. Did you guys really think about that, or was that just happenstance?
No, this is really part of the process, because remember the first part that we talked about was technology, and the second was ease of use or user experience, and then finally we wanted to have a unit that looked beautiful in your kitchen. Everyone's proud of their kitchen. You want it to look good, right? So all you need to do then is to choose your EcoSphere water purifier over the others because of the superior ultrafiltration technology, because of the beautiful design that fits nicely on your tabletop, and also because it's such simple installation and simple maintenance for the design. The user experience is great.
I love it. Okay, I think that we have one more pop quiz question. We've asked you 2. It's time for the very last question, everybody. I hope you're ready. I hope you've been paying attention. I hope you have loved learning everything that has gone into this. Mark and his R&D team have done amazing stuff. So I think this one could be a really tough question. We've gone through a lot of stuff. Mark, what's the last question?
Okay, the subjective questions are always the hardest. Tell us why EcoSphere water purifier is your choice to drink healthy.
All right, now I am going to taste this water for a second. Get myself a glass so I can enjoy a quick glass of water here. Do you still have water in your glass, Mark?
There you go. I do.
All right, so before we drink to our health, I think we have some really good news for everybody in Southeast Asia. What good news do you have to share with them, Mark?
Right, I want to share more about this with you in person in Southeast Asia, so I'm coming in October to tell you more about it.
That's awesome. All right, you guys. So get ready for Mark really there with you in person, not on Facebook Live. Enjoy and cheers. Here's to your good health. Here's to drinking. Thank you so much for joining us at Late Night Live. Make sure you submit your questions. Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Drink healthy.